Welcome to an out-of-the-box overview video. Today I am looking at Feral State 4 Revolt. This is a game that is, at the time of this video, currently on Kickstarter. So everything you see here is pre-Kickstarter components, so things may change. And I have been provided with these as a print and play in order to make this video. So Feral State is set in a world after a zombie apocalypse, so there are zombies everywhere. I think there are some earlier Kickstarters with Feral State 1 to 3, and this is the fourth one. In this fourth one, you play either solo or co-op. If you play co-op, you get to play one of each of the characters. If you play solo, you get to use both characters, and you've got two characters that are being captured by raiders and forced to work in a farm, gas station, chemical plant. And so the revolt is that you are trying to revolt against your raider captors, I guess. And so the game is set up in a set of turns, and the turns have a timeline that goes around the top here, and I've picked a red meeple to represent the raiders. When you have a red day, you have to stay at camp and have to do an activity at camp. You can either work in the gas well and get some gas resources, you can go work in the farm, get some produce, or you can work in the chem lab and work on building medkits. So red ones are work days. If you hit a white one, that's a free-for-all day, and you can either work in your compound or go out and explore and try and kill some zombies, get some experience and get some other things. I'll talk about that in a minute. You also have to eat. So every time you hit a pizza, you have to eat food, and not having food is one of the lose conditions. So you've got to watch your food. Once you get a skull, so you've done quite a few turns, that's a tribute day. And when a tribute day happens, the raiders descend on your compound and demand a tribute. They will either take all your gasoline, all your food, or all your medkits. You can, when that happens, hide one or more by hiding them resources. But if the raiders don't get anything, they'll give you a warning. And if you have 3 warnings, after 3 warnings, they're very unhappy with you and they will attack. And that's the end of the game to a certain degree. And you can initiate an attack at any time. There's this handy kind of quick start guide that came with it. But this is where the raiders are. And so there's 2, 4, 6 raiders will attack, and they've got quite high stats. We'll talk about the stats in a minute when we talk about zombies at locations. But this is end game. Either you get your 3 warnings because you've hidden stuff and they haven't got their tribute, they come and attack and then you have to fight them. Or if you're feeling confident, you can engage with them earlier if you want to try and win the game and revolt and escape. Well, not escape, but become your own person. So in terms of resources, we have gas, food, and medkits. That is represented with dice. So the game requires you to have some dice. So the dice kind of contribute. So you have cans of gas, which then you can build up into canisters. So as you gain more, you turn your dice over. So if I gain 2, I would move that to a 3. As soon as it goes to a 6, it flips over this one. So this is like the 10s and the 1s. And it goes the opposite. So you start, I've set this up for a start game. So you start with 2 canisters. So if I wanted to use, say, 3, I would take that down to a 1. And of the 6 that were there, I used 3. I would have 3 left over. So this would then go to a 4. So I would have 4 cans to go. And we can adjust your your cans and your canisters as you generate more resources. And it's the same with food. So every 6 scraps of food, you generate a pizza. Every 6 pills that you generate in the chem lab, you can turn into a med kit. And so you've got this minor and major. So you build the minor in your base, and then you can find stuff when you go out. So you've got 2 characters. Each of these characters has a set of attributes. So punching, running, intelligence. You get 2 points at the beginning of the game to allocate, and I've allocated 1 intelligence to my, I guess, female red-headed person, and my dark-haired person gets 1 for fighting. That gives you bonuses when you do some of your in-camp activities. So if you're in the chem lab, you get 1 pill per intelligence. So I'm going to get 2 per round if I decided to go into the chem lab, which is helpful because it then speeds things up. So on red days, we stay on base. On white days, we can still stay on base, or we can go out and try and get more resources. And this is where the zombies kick in. So we've got this map here, and each location has a gas can cost, because we're going with a vehicle and we've got to pay the cost. So that's the round trip. The later ones don't get unlocked until you've done the earlier ones, so you can't go straight to the asylum. You have to do Broken Truck first. And so there's 3 types of locations, and these locations come on location boards. And these boards provide us with locations with sets of zombies that we can then fight, and they get bigger as you go further into the map. But every time you clear a zone, there's a whole lot of rewards. So if you cleared the asylum, you'd get 8 XP, 3 medkits, pizza, canister, and a grenade, which sounds like fun. XP counts up. When we hit a 6, we get another dot that we can increase our skill sets in different areas, which then helps us with producing things. When we go somewhere, it's got a very clever system for attacking. So each site has a set of zombies. Those zombies have an initial number. I'll see if we can zoom this in a bit. Let's have a look. It's always tricky here. There we go. So we have, oh, that's gone opposite of zoom. There we go. So here we've got a 3, which says we basically get 3 attacks before they have a go at us. They've got damage that we have to destroy on their head, torso, and legs. We have to reduce 1 of those to 0. So I'll do an example. I'll do a couple of terms in a minute, so you'll get to see how that works. So basically you get 3 attacks on them before they start attacking you. If they attack you, you have to use a medkit. And if you run out of medkits, then you die as well. Well, it's game over. So you roll a dice, and I forgot another dice. I'm going to need another dice. There we go. Found another dice. Okay, so when we attack, we roll a dice. We have a combat chart, and a combat chart. So if I rolled a 6, that would allow me to either do 2 damage to the legs or 1 damage to the torso. So you get to go either the die you roll, or the opposite. So there's a bit of randomization in your combat. Also, you've got weapons. And so the redhead's got a gun and a baseball bat, and they have different abilities that you can use. So if you reduce a body part down to 1 with a baseball bat, you get a +1 hit. So you basically get another hit before the zombie's going to have a go at you for attacking you. So that delays the attacking process, which is great. And the dark-haired person has got +1 damage if the target has 6 or more hit points left. So they'd be really good for an initial combat. You can both go together in the same vehicle when you head off to a location, or you can go separately and both go to single ones. Locations also have traps where you roll dice against whatever ability it is, and also sometimes they have observational things so that you can at the end. So this one's got a 5 intelligence. If you roll over a 5, you roll the dice and you add on your attribute, and if you get over that value, you get whatever's in there, which will be 3 pills, which will be really handy. So it's kind of bonuses as well as getting what you would get normally. I'll go over the combat when I play turns because it's much easier to see it. These print and play, I've laminated these, so I'll be able to do my combat on here and then rub it off. So what you get is lots of exploration, a bit of forced maintenance, resource management, but that's probably for the best. It's probably easier if I just go for it. So I'm gonna go for it. So let's start playing. So I'll set everything down for the initial things. Our first day is a red day, so we can't go explore it. I've got standees on here, but I'm gonna play them that way so you can see what's happening. They're gonna go into the gas and they're gonna go into the chem. And because he has got 2, he's gonna produce 2 of these. So that goes to a 3. And because she has got 2, that shape, they will build 2 pills. So that goes to 3. That's the end of a day. Very quick turns. So next day, another red day. We've got to stay there. I'm not so worried about food yet. So we've got pizza. So I'm going to stay where they are. At the end of the day, I should have moved them back. So now I'm going to move them back again. And I'm going to do the same. So this one now will go from a thing to a 6. So that goes to a 1. And that goes up to a 6. Oh, it doesn't go to a 6, it goes to a 3. And then this one generates another, oh, I've done that wrong as well. 3 plus 2 is only 5. So that'll go to a 5, and that'll go to a 5. As long as I get these mistakes when I start, and that's the end of that day. So then we hit turn 3, and pizza day. We've got to eat a pizza food, so that'll go down to a 1. Now I've got a choice. Because it's a white day, I can either go out or I can stay doing stuff. I have another pizza here. So I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna leave them there and we're gonna go for a trip. We're gonna go to Vault 69 and that's gonna cost us 3 cans of fuel. So that means we're gonna go down to 2. So that was for the round trip. He is going to do his generate 2. And now we get to go visit one of the locations. So, Vault 69 is this one at the top. We have got 2 zombies. This zombie is going to attack after 2 hits. So what I like to do is I put down the 2, because that's where we are, their head, their torso, and their feet. Okay, so then we go, let's roll some dice. Oh, I've got a dice tray. Oh, I've got a dice tower. Maybe I'll just throw my dice tray here. I can roll dice. I get a 1. So I either do 1 to the head or 2 to the torso. I think I'm going to do 2 to the torso, because then they're down to 2. So then you can fill that in. And so that shows you your progress of what's happening. That hasn't happened. All regular strikes. Okay, and then I am going to attack again. So now this is attack 1. Well, T minus 2, T minus 1, and then I get a 2. And a 2 is either 2 to the head or 1 to the legs, which isn't really that helpful. I'll take 2 to the head. So it goes down to 3, 2, 4. So now I've had my 2 free hits. Now we're going to get hit. So I'm going to lose a medkit. Ouch. Actually, I could check the order of this. Usually I've killed them by now, at least for the first things. I think if I kill them first, I think we attack first. I'm going to attack first. And I get a 2. which is a 2 to the head. So that would go down to a 2. No, it wouldn't go down to a 1. But I'm going to use my special attack, which is I can use a special attack once per location. It's not going to help for this one, but I'm going to use it now because I'm a bit desperate. And that means I can do 2 damage to the head. So that goes to -1, 0. So that zombie is dead. But I don't have my special attack anymore. So I now have to face the second zombie. And this one has 2, 5, 6, and 4 plus. So what 4 plus means, oops, no, it's not, it's an 11. It's an 11. No, it's not. That's the legs. It is a 4 plus. 4 plus. So what that means, if you hit that location, you get an extra hit for kind of for free, which is a good thing because it's almost like you're staggering them. So off we go again. Let's roll the dice. Actually, I am going to look up that thing about the health kit because I think it should be simultaneous. I'm going to play it. I could die very quickly though. I'll put a comment. I'll find out, and I'll put a comment down below once I find out. Okay, so I get a 2. Doing lots of heads. So that's 2 to the head. Or 1 to the legs. So what I'll do is I'll do 1 to the legs, but I'm still at hit 2. That's what the plus kicks in. And so that was, didn't do as much damage, but they kind of staggered. Then I get a 5. A 5 is 1 to the legs or 2 to the head. I'm going to do another 1 to the legs. Now I have a quick look to see. I think the plus is forever, because you can just keep on hitting them. Just a second. This is a weak spot. Hitting this slows them down and gains an extra attack roll. I reckon it only happens once, because that would be way too powerful. So what am I on anyway? So I'm on 5, 6, 2, because I did 1 damage. Right, I want to do a 2. I need to do a 2 to the legs. Get a 4, which is 2 to the body or 1 to the head, which is kind of unhelpful. I guess I'll do 2 to the head, 2 to the body, 2 to the body. Right, I'm going to take damage this time. So 6, and a 6 is 2 to the legs. And I think, yeah, so I do 2 to the legs. That's going to go to a 0. Dead. I'll check out that health kit thing. I think it'll be harsh to. If I had to do it simultaneously, I'll be dead by now because I would have used my 2 health kits, and then it would be game over. So anyway, that zombie is now dead. And the neat thing is, then I can get a cloth and rub those off. And next turn, I can start working my way through my next one. So Vault 69 is gone, and for that I get 3 strawberries. So that put me on 4. And I can do an intelligence test, which is a 5. So I've got to roll, I've got intelligence of 2. So I've got to roll, well, more than 5. I get a 4 plus 2. I'll show you. I got a 4. I got a 4 plus 2 gives me 6. So I actually get 2 pills as well, because I found a hidden cabinet, which is good. So I've got 3 pills, which goes to 8. So it's to 2. And I get another health kit. And that's that location finish. So I go back to base. Which was a dead end one. But that's fine, because it's, it's a small one. So that's handy. they worked in the gas well, and that's how turns go. They're really fast. You do that. The combat is stressful, but dice, but you've got choices. So even if you get a roll that's not optimal, there's chances are that you can turn it around. I mean, taking on a room with a lot more. So let's do another turn. It's another day at home. I'm a little worried about food, so I think we will go into the food, into the gas. So that means we'll get 1 food and 2 gas. So that goes to a 6. Let's put that to the side. I remember now that goes to a side because we don't have a 1. That turns into a 3. Otherwise we'll be getting free gas. So that's that day. Another red day. I'm going to do the same. So I'll get 2 more, and I'll get another food, which goes to a 6, which then turns that over to a 2, and that goes off. And then we are onto a free day. We know we have to eat, but we're okay. We've got pizza. This time, I do like my medkits. I think they'll stay in the lab, and we'll send him off. He can head off to the police station, and that's going to cost him 3. So we'll take 6 off there. Use 3, would have 5 left. Oh, I got some experience as well. Forgot about that. I got 1 experience, so she goes up to 2, which is good because more experience, more points, build more stuff, fight better. He's going to the police station. That must be a red one. Oh, that might not have been such a good idea, but never mind. Here's our police station. It's got a trap and it's got 3 bays. Okay. What's his weapon? He's got +1 if the target has body parts of 6. Oh, okay, all left. So that's pretty good. Let's take out the first one. That's a 4. So it's going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. We take damage. And then it's got a 5+. It's got an 8+. And it's got a 8+. Maybe I'll just do 1 more, and then you'll see how it's going, because this could take a long time. It is a long game. It takes about 90 minutes supposedly. When I've played it, it's longer, but then I'm just learning the rules. Anyhow, let's roll for combat. And I get a 1, which gives me either 1 on the head or 2 on the torso. Torso has got an 8, and I could get a +1 on that. So why don't we go with that? Because that would give me, that would knock it down to 5. And I shouldn't have written that up, because it's got a plus. I get another go at 4. And I'll leave those other ones because I haven't used those yet. Right then, let's see what I get. I get a 3, which gives me 1 on the torso or 2 in the legs. So if I aim for the torso though, I get +1 if I strike the same body part. That is tempting, because that would give me, that would knock that down to 3. And I'm only at turn 3. And let's have a go again. 5 gives me 1 on the legs or 2 in the head. Why don't we do 2 in the head, which would knock down to a 3. Because it's got a plus, I get another one of those. So I get more fighting. Oh, I get a 6. And a 6 is either 2 in the legs. I should have a plus. 2 in the legs or 1 on the torso. I'm going to do 1 on the torso. I think we can deal with that, hopefully in the next 2 turns. 6. Oh, I get a +1 because it's the same body part. If I go with the torso, that means it goes down to a 0. So that one was no problem. Easy. I'm going to stop now because you can see how it goes. You can link up when you pick. So if I'd gone for the legs, that would have given me the plus. I would have got an extra, and so you can kind of link it out. I've still got 2 to fight, and there's a trap I'm going to have to jump over. I've got a 1, it's a 4, so that shouldn't be too bad. Lots of different ways you can play it. Lots of places to explore. You've got 3 maps, and at the end you've got these fighting, 10, 12, 10. That's going to be, so you want to build your experience, get your resources, and the only thing I haven't shown you is tribute, which is 3 turns away. But tribute, you either decide to hide stuff, in which case if they don't find it, you take a warning. If they do find it, that is removed. You just go down to a 0. So they'll take all your med kits or all your food, all your canisters. So then you've got a lot of decisions to make, whether you want to hide it or, and the tribute is done by rolling a dice. So you roll a dice, and if you get a 2, that's gas. That'll be gone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easy. Anyway, that is Federal State Revolt. Currently on Kickstarter. Don't forget to subscribe and like.